Oh, so good. And Sir Rod Stewart and Jools Holland join us now. Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Couldn't be better.
I mean, you really couldn't be better. This album, Swing Fever, #1.
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't be better, could it?
Well, we were hoping for a top 5. We were knocked out when it got to #1.
Couldn't believe
We actually went out and got drunk, would you believe it?
I can't believe that.
Never.
By way of a change.
But you know what? I think it just sounds like you're having the best time on this. As though you've, like, rehearsed it and then just let it all go and everybody's had a great
Exactly
time.
that.
I think we sell, you know, these days, I think the expression of joy isn't the thing you always hear in music.
Yeah.
And that's what came out of us. But we didn't sort of plan. We didn't sit down and say, well, let's express all this joy. It just came out, didn't it? It's just great. It was like when we first went in the studio, I was thinking, well, is this going to work? And the band start playing and I look in the control room and he's in there.
Going for it.
Like, everything's going to be OK. You know,
Having a boogie.
Exactly. If you have a boogie, everything will be all right. So, yeah, it couldn't be better. And all of those feelings of joy are in there. And I think in a rather miserable world at the moment, it's nice to just have a moment of that.
Agree,
Real
for
escapism.
sure.
Couldn't have done it without this band, though, and without this man.
So am I right in saying, Rod, that you'd sort of laid down a few tracks thinking about it, thinking this doesn't sound quite rough enough? Where am I going to get my rough from?
Yeah,
and you thought, I know just the man.
Started in Los Angeles with session men.
Yeah.
And I think there's the big difference. This is a proper band. They play together for years now. So I called him up just before Christmas. I said, do you want to make a record? And he didn't believe it was me, and the rest is history. What happened?
I thought it was bogus because I've met Rod a couple of times over the years, but I didn't really know him. And his voice says, hello, it's Rod Stewart. And I, oh, yeah. And, I said, do you want to make a record? And happy Christmas. Yeah, thanks very much. Do you want to make a record? So I thought, well, that's straight in there. I said, yeah, sure, OK, well, let us know, won't you? Put the phone down. But it really was him. So, anyway, we got together and it was like... I've been following and listening to him forever.
Yeah.
One of the few singers in the world that can sing any sort of music and connect, as you saw in that video there, and connect it straight to the hearts of people.
Yeah.
So, and also understands, as well as understands the song, really, more than probably any other living singer. He understands the song. So, and also understands boogie music because he's started off, like me, with the London Blues. So the idea of doing a record really excited me. So I was then thinking, I rather wish I hadn't slammed the phone down because maybe I could
should have organised some dates a bit more.
Clarify this a bit more, yes. Yeah.
He also has that incredible mischievous side.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Which hasn't left at all. Is he all right to record with? At some points, do you have to go, now, Rod, behave. We've got to get this done.
No, I leave that to Penny.
OK.
She's the person.
She cracks the whip.
I'm not the... Yeah, exactly.
She's a constable in the
Yes,
police.
she is, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do as I'm told.
She is a fine lady.
She speaks
She's
well
wonderful.
of you.
She is
She's
a smasher. And she's
Steady, the show's about us.
And
I was
also...
about to say, she's a cameo in the video too, in
She
Penny
is.
Smith, right?
And we got on very well because, of course, she is in the police, but I'm in the jazz police. So we improvised.
How did the casting for this go, Rod, when you realised that Penny was going to come in and be in this video?
Well, I think I asked the director if she could be in it, and he went, well, I was going to ask her anyway. But as far as the casting goes, the 3 girls in the red dresses are in my band anyway, and the rest of it is Jools' band.
And Jeremy Deller, who's a fantastic contemporary artist, is one of the turning point. He did the video, but he said, he just had this... He understood us, and also he's a great Rod fan, which is why he did it.
Oh, amazing.
And I think he could hear the joy in it, which I think connects in that. It's quite...
Yeah.
It was lovely after... It went so quick, didn't it? Everything goes quick like that when you're having fun.
Yeah, you're just really enjoying yourselves. It's one of those records that you play before you go out.
Couple of glasses.
Yeah,
and
get
out
yourself
you go.
ready.
You're not driving.
Exactly.
I know what you mean.
Get yourself ready. Are you going to perform on tour, or are you not doing that anymore? I know you've performed a couple of times together.
Both of our calendars, thank the Lord, are very full the rest of this year. So maybe next year, and because the album's done very well globally, so we can consider it, and we're going to have talks after the show.
Are you
We're
going
all going to have talks after the show.
You're going to do it then?
We're going to have a summit.
Will that be in a bar somewhere?
It might be. A summit is a drink, isn't it?
Yes, it is exactly what it is. Am I right in saying, Jools, that this was your very first #1 album?
Yes, an incredible thing for me, which is what this man has brought to me. You know, Squeeze had #2s. I've sold records with my big band. Have had records that sold quite a lot, but never a #1. So it's really gratifying for me, and I'm very grateful that Rod wanted to sing with us because it brought out the very best in us. Because the thing that he wanted was what we did. It wasn't like can you sort of alter it to make it... He wanted actually us, what we did, and I'm so pleased that that sound has connected with everybody, and it's only because of the way that his voice connected that has made it all happen. So it's been a pleasure all round.
And you also connected over your model trains, I hear.
Yes,
is that correct? Would that be correct?
Now, it's not particularly rock and roll, though.
It isn't, but I like the idea of it.
It's funny you should say that. It's bloody... all bloody.
Oh, that's it. You're cancelled.
Chelsea,
You're off.
Oh, that's it, give up.
20 years ago, I
Invite
decided
Stewart
I was tired of being in the closet about model railroads, and I came out and I let cameras in to take pictures. And I'm glad I did, you know, because I'm so proud of what I've achieved. We both are. His layout is sensational.
But the thing is, I have to say, when I did first...
That's his layout.
I did meet Rod at a do somewhere. I can't remember what... And I said, oh, you've got a layout. And he said, yeah. I said, I've got one too. But I was treated with suspicion. It wasn't, oh, yes, great.
Really?
It was, yeah, well, what gauge... I mean, there was a few... But once I got past the questions, it was great.
You've got to prove your credentials.
I wasn't just like sort of a bogus. But he's got a skyscraper that's over 6 foot tall.
It's taller than my wife.
Yeah.
It's HO scale.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you know,
But it's over 6
See, they're
foot tall.
talking in tongues now.
But-
It's
and
like a
I've-
layout and
Back
a...
to the audience, please.
I said to him that you've got to, for a structure that's over 6 foot tall, you actually do have to have planning permission for that, for this little building that he's doing. But he thinks he's got the planning committee in his pocket because they're only that big.
Got that through, Jools. But that is genuinely, you've been doing it for how long now, your model training?
35 years.
35 years.
Longer.
Probably longer, yeah. It's been with me all my life, on and on.
You gave me those old locos you made.
Tell me how
Lovely.
Long time.
God, how big is your setup? Just try and explain how big your setup. I mean, it is.
Mine's about longer than this whole studio.
60 by
60 odd feet by
60 to
35
50.
feet
Yeah.
wide.
Amazing. The other thing that Rod loves is football.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Many years ago, I came to visit you and Penn at your house in Epping, where I grew up, and I got to go and play football. Is it a clip? We're going to show a little clip of One Night Only with Rod Stewart when I got to go and play football
let's
with
have a look.
Rod himself.
So, and here she is.
Wow. You've got training rules.
Oh, don't mess about. My free kicks. It's like a carpet. He's good.
Yeah, finish.
So
There's Penny.
There's Penny taking pictures.
Taking pictures.
That was a blinding effort.
I loved what the first words out of his mouth, though, were, you're a rugby player, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that setup there, for me, was... Forget your model trains. You had changing rooms. You had all the big teams came down and played there as well.
Yeah. Celtic came down and trained. Pre-season, they came down and trained twice. Liverpool came down here, Newcastle. There was a couple of championship teams that I turned down. I said, only take Premiership. But they would use it pre-season.
Yeah.
It was like Wembley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was perfect.
It was absolutely amazing. You still playing? You still having a kickabout?
Kickabout with the boys. I've had to have a knee replacement, so my competitive days are over, but I've had some wonderful years playing football. I do miss it.
I bet you still get stuck
I
in,
do.
knee replacement or not.
Still get... Last time I saw you was at Soccer 6.
It was.
Remember?
It was.
crikey.
And then I saw you on the aeroplane. You got your own leopard print blanket you took on with you.
That's right, yeah.
It was lovely.
Do you still travel with a leopard print blanket?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm very fortunate. I travel everywhere privately. So,
Get looked after.
you know, I've earned the money. I can spend it on what I want.
Including potholes, Rod. We understand you've been mending the potholes in Harlow?
Yeah. I was driving my Ferrari and it got stuck in a pothole. So I decided to go out and fix it myself.
And the local
Yeah,
council
I-
were thrilled, I'm sure, that you did all the hard yards.
They weren't amused, I can tell you, because we didn't use the proper stuff.
There's nothing like a bit of DIY.
Yes, wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Please see you had a reflective jacket on there as well.
Yeah, high
Yeah,
vis.
that'd be high vis.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Gents,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. It's really a treat to have you both
Brilliant.
in. Loved it. Really loved the album. And definitely get that summit going. And people want to see you perform.
Well, good luck to you two.
Yes, I hope the show
you.
goes
We're
really well.
great. They're the
Thank
best
you.
on the
Exactly,
show.
yeah.
Thank you.
Round of
Thank you
applause for them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, look, the whole crew. Well done.
They can
I
come
love
back
you.
anytime.
Love them.
Because we
So
did-
far, nothing. We haven't cancelled you.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Rod's done his best, but not yet. We've still got...